Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Hello everybody and welcome to the biggest track in NASCAR on the schedule. It's time to go racing at Talladega and it's time for the Tobacco Road Cup Series, excuse me, to take the track. Last week we had an interesting race at Las Vegas. It was James Johnson, I believe, won that race. It was an interesting race, but now we shift gears. And Brian, I'm going to welcome you in. What do you expect tonight with the big super speedway for these guys?
Yeah, we go from one gambling or a track in a gambling city to a track where you do gambling on it. Yeah, it's a big turnout tonight, so going to be a lot of drafting going on. So looking to see who amongst our field can harness that draft and work their way up to the front and potentially make that last lap pass on the dash to the finish.
Yeah, as we see them qualifying right now, this is going to be an interesting race. It's scheduled for, let's see, hold on, 60 laps. We got partly cloudy skies, 80-degree track tip. 80-degree ambient weather, 134 track temperature. Man, these cars, that's gonna affect the overheating. Wouldn't you think, Brian?
No, not too much with these cars. Unfortunately, they did away with being able to do the tape on the front ends to, especially in qualifying trim, as we're seeing them going around here. But you know, it can absolutely affect overheating if you're just locked bumpers. I've done it before, but it's pretty easy to just back off a couple feet and get some fresh air into that radiator and cool it back down. So if these guys are all bunched up, 34 cars in a single pack, yeah, you could be seeing some guys that have to give up some spots and get some fresh air going through those radiators.
Yeah, and we see the black rifle number of Travis Everett on the track. You know, I'm actually enjoying some nice Black Rifle coffee during this broadcast, so pretty sweet to see that car on the track. Of course, I got the Tactic Squatch blend, not the Rooster on there. But, I mean, qualifying really, it does affect you, but really not, because, I mean, anything can happen when it comes to Talladega.
Oh, absolutely. You know, you'll see qualifying, as I'm sure we'll see a bunch of guys that you'll be less than a tenth for, you know, 5-10 cars deep. So it doesn't really affect anything. I've not quite figured it out the way that others have of really nailing a pole time on these super speedways, whether it's Talladega or Daytona. But to your point, first or last, you're all pretty much under the same blanket for a lot of laps. So it really is boiled down to accident avoidance. That's what it's going to be. It's not a matter of if the big one's going to happen; it's when.
Exactly. And Joshua Nunez, he fresh off that win at Bristol, took a week off, wasn't at the Las Vegas race, but he finds himself back out here with a different looking scheme. He's going to be tough to beat today, Brian.
Yeah, you got to figure, he's definitely going to be a favorite. Be interested to see how the short track skills translate to the big oval here in Alabama, but definitely a favorite. Loving that black and neon yellow Micro Center livery there. Super excited that we're getting a Micro Center here in Austin finally after decades of asking for one. But yeah, it'll be nice to see what he can put up. Looks like Travis Everett, who we were showing over earlier, currently has the pole. But as we said, minuscule margins. Nunez is tenths of a thousandth of a second slower. It's showing zeros across the board on the timing tower there. But James Johnson's only 19 thousandths back of those two. Actually, it's a tie for 19 thousandths between third and fourth currently. So, like we said, there's nothing between these guys. It makes you wish we kind of had the F1 style graphic of overlay everybody at the start-finish line to visualize what these gaps are. But yeah, I imagine it'll be a lot of overlapping.
Definitely. And you mentioned Austin. I'm actually 3 hours away from there. So
hey, fellow Texan, excellent.
Well, we're not going to go that far. I'm a transplant Texan.
Okay. Well.
But anyways, as we see, we're going to take a look right here at the schedule. So we started at Daytona, then we went to Kansas, and then we went to Dover, Chicagoland, Watkins Glen, Bristol, Las Vegas. Now we're at Talladega. Taking 2 weeks off, and then we're going to Iowa, and then we'll be at Charlotte. What are you expecting with this schedule? Kind of a very diverse schedule, isn't it, Brian?
Yeah, it definitely is. And it sounds like during that 2 week break, they're going to have kind of an all-star race the Wednesday before Thanksgiving as well. So give some guys a little bit of a chance to knock the rust off during that 2 week break. Yeah, the Thanksgiving All-Star Classic coming to you from Richmond, 200 laps on Wednesday, November 26th. That'll be right here on Racer NEXUS. So if anybody wants to participate and has some extra time off during the holiday and wants to jump in, definitely look to hop in with Tobacco Road Sim Racing and join up there. So, but qualifying's done and dusted, so let's run through our starting grid.
Yeah, so we got Travis Everett on the pole, lining up next to Joshua Nunez. Row 2, we're going to find James Johnson lining up next to Joseph Smith on the outside. Row 3 is going to be Xavier Riegelbrug in the 5th position, lined up next to Brandon McLaughlin in the 6th position on the outside. And then in row number 4, we're going to find Scott Matthews in the 7, lined up next to Joe Bonner in the 22. And then we're going to find Chris Toppings in P9, lined up next to Chris Perry. And Cody Adams and Jason Coos in 12th. And Brandon, who's 11 on back?
Yeah, we got Cody Adams lining up in P11 next to Jason Coos, Ryan Mason, and then Tommy D'Angelo on row 7. Sorry. Then we got Brad Harris and James Labarge, followed by Tyler Labarge, assuming brothers, maybe father son, I don't know. And then another Coos, Justin this time in P18. So some family racing going on tonight. P19 we got Scott Drost, followed next to Michael Peden, and then Jonathan Pereira and Guy Oliveira round out 21st and 22nd. And then we've got Ronald Braylon in P23 and James Jones in P24. And that is your starting lineup tonight for Talladega.
All right, thank you, Brian. We're ready to get going as the cars are rolling. And I just want to add, I did look it up. Kyle Ether won that race at Las Vegas. So He's not in the field tonight, though, but he did win at Vegas, so I couldn't remember who it was. So this
As
is
we
race.
see, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, this is week 8 out of 10. Again, we'll take that 2 weeks after this race and then come back to the corn state of Iowa. This will be a 60-lap race. There's 4 sets of tires. And, Brian, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to get this thing started as they come down the backstretch.
Yeah, they've got 4 sets of tires, 1 faster pair. I suspect quite a few people will need through no fault of their own. That's just how Talladega goes, or maybe that's just my experience. I don't know. That seems to be my luck. I always get involved in somebody else's mess. But yeah, as they're lining up here and rolling down the backstretch, we'll be going green this time by, about ready to kick off 60 laps.
Yeah, and it's going to be the 17 of Travis Everett from Outsiders Racing will be leading them to the green flag as they work out of turn number 4. Still waiting for the pace car to take that hard left turn onto pit road.
Then we got to wait a little bit more because the start-finish line is down at pit exit, so...
Well, that is a good point. You know, we think of Daytona, you know, the start finish lines in the travel. Not at Talladega. Bill France, he had an idea. He said, I'm going to extend it, and it's going to provide some excellent finishes like we have seen as the field comes through the tri-oval, getting up through the gears. The control car is going to be Travis Everett. And here he goes as they come through the tri-oval. Green flag in the air. We're underway at Talladega.
Yeah, as we see the lead pack start pulling away there, good launch for the first 4 rows of cars. Already bumping there going into turn 1 between Everett and Johnson. Nunez looking for help on the high side to stick with him.
Yeah, as we look right here, big push coming from James Johnson in the 88 machine. But as you look on the outside, Nunez getting a big shot from the 31, I believe. Yeah, the 31.
Smith, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bottom line is definitely... Oh, I was about to say the bottom line was organized, and then they did the cardinal sin of bump drafting in the corners, and we got a wreck in turn 3.
So that'll bring out our first caution of the night. I'm going to ask you, over or under 5 cautions?
Oh, I'm taking the over on that.
That's what I was thinking.
Nah, nothing to say of these guys' talent because they're a good group of guys. It's just Talladega. Whatever number you throw out there, you always take the over. But yeah, that whole mess got started with looked like Johnson got a bump. The old push the pusher happened going in turn 3 there and got the 88 loose, and he had it saved, although the hood was flapping. Yeah, it looks like the 7 gets in the back of the 55. Oh, that was a... Oh, don't tell me that bug's back, iRacing. For a while, there was a bug with the drafting mechanic that it would just act like somebody threw out a concrete brick from the car in front, and the car that was second in line would just lurch backwards. We'd have to get another replay of that, but that almost what that looked like there. Yeah, and looking at the 88, let's just see if he just launches backward. Yeah, that's... Ah, man, that's so unfortunate for James Johnson there. Just nothing you can do about that. I thought he might have gotten a bad push from behind, but that's just iRacing mechanics look like.
So they're saying... They're talking about... That's what they're talking about right now, Brian. Talking about a lag that could have played an impact on it, but... All in all, it looks like James Johnson's going to get the EOL.
Yeah, just unfortunate there that, you know, you got to burn your faster pair less a lap into this race. But, you know, that was something that was a big problem back in the Daytona 500 time earlier this year. And even, if I remember right, in the official NASCAR esports, the Coca-Cola esports series. And I thought that they had fixed it, but apparently it has come back and plagued some of these guys, unfortunately.
Well, and then also we think back also to you know, people have been complaining about the console side with the drafting as well, so they gotta get. Hopefully they'll get it fixed. on both.
Yeah, I mean, I throw NASCAR 25 into a whole different can. That's a different team fixing it. But yeah, we see
definitely.
the 88 and 55 coming down, getting to that damage fixed. Looks like the 55 of Xavier Regelbrug is choosing not to use his fast repair. That may prove to be a wise decision later in the race if there's a big race or big wreck with, say, 10 to go or something like that. So, you know, benefit of Talladega being such a big track is it's a very long, very slow pace lap, so it gives you a chance to get a lot of damage fixed before you go a lap down. But with all that mayhem on lap 1, Travis Everett still maintains the lead. Joshua Nunez is still P2. You'd act like nothing's happened so far.
Yeah, exactly. But that is besides the cases. There's been a lot that happened already, and like you said, using that fast repair, it's got to be tough on that first lap.
Yeah, I unfortunately in Johnson's case, unlike the 55 there, as we see, it looks like he's got his car all fixed up, but his car, the 88, was a little bit too damaged to sit there and wait for it to get fixed. So I can't fault him for using the fast repair already. But as we see, Brandon McLaughlin, he's currently P4. He's up 2 spots with the avoiding the lag switch, as we'll jokingly call it, on lap 1 there. But so what else are you kind of expecting or anticipating tonight? We've talked about the cautions and the big ones, which have already made an appearance. But
Right.
what else? What else are you expecting from a race at Talladega?
Well, you know, the thing is, nowadays with this Gen 7 car, a race at Talladega is a freight train race. But I'm excited to see the multi-groove, multi-pack racing. Looking forward to that, seeing how these guys act in the draft. See who goes with who, manufacturer with manufacturer, or non-manufacturer with non-manufacturer, team with team, or not, vice versa. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. What are you thinking about, Brian?
I'm just happy we don't have a fuel mileage race like we do in real life. That's what I'm happy about on this sim. Everybody just is 100% flat out. So it's a cherished treat in today's NASCAR realm. So yeah, I'll be excited to see who can use those runs that they get. It seems like 2-car tandems don't really do a whole lot if you're that second car, but you start getting 3-4 cars in a train, you can make some moves if you're further back in that pack. So not quite the good old days of Dale Earnhardt seeing the air, like you always heard about, but
Yeah.
There's definitely some strategy to navigating through a pack of cars at the super speedway. So looking forward to who can be the best of traffic management, we'll call it. So but we got lights off on the pace cars. We're halfway down the backstretch heading into turn 3, and we're going to go green this time by.
Yeah, definitely. As we take a look at the Brad Harris sporting the Quack Pack Racing, if you remember watching the Las Vegas race, we made the joke. Well, Chris Toppings and Brad Harris ran with it, and looky right there. It is on the hood. One of them representing the Tar Heels, the other one representing the Wolf Pack. Great looking logo. Great job, Chris and Brad, on making those logos. All right, so here we go, folks. We're getting ready to go green. Travis Everett is the control car, followed by Joshua Nunez, Brandon McLaughlin, Joseph Smith, Joe Bonner, Scott Matthews, Jason Coos, Chris Perry, and so forth. So here we go. Field comes out of turn number 4, down the tri-oval. Now coming to the start-finish line, it'll take them a little bit to get back up through the gears, but right there, it's going to be a great restart for Travis Everett, and we are back underway here at Talladega.
Yeah, Travis Everett gets a good launch there and allows the 31 behind him to get up to speed and get locked on that rear bumper as we see him closing in. Once before, just like on the start, 41 of Nunez on the high side looking for help to try and keep up with its inside line, but very quickly, once again, the inside line is getting organized and looking to run away with this.
Yeah, definitely looking to run away with it. Joseph Smith is giving Travis Everett a big shot in the back, just pushing him just so much. And now they got the accordion effect going, as it looks like is that the 00, I believe? 22, sorry, of Joe Bonner and Scott Matthews. They're trying to get up to each other so that they can get that caboose pushing all the way to the front, get that energy going where they can get away from the field.
Yeah, once you get about third, fourth car in line, you're just riding around. You can't really give pushes to the car in front, but you definitely want to stay with them so you don't get dropped, and you don't want to get side drafted from that outside line. So yeah, as we see a huge shove from the 31 there, somebody goes to jump to the outside there. As Nunez looks like he's been shuffled down to 6. Yeah, Scott Matthews
shoots up to the side. And the thing is, I was just about to say that's going to help him get away from the field with Michael Peden getting in there, because Peden just set the fastest lap of the race so far. But now he goes with Matthews, and now they're trying to get that outside line organized, as Nunez is now running the bottom.
Yeah, and Matthews, you saw there, he kind of ducks down behind the 22 of Bonner, and he gets that huge rush of air from the draft, and he's like, I'm going to capitalize on this run, and dips back out to the outside. So unfortunately doesn't have the help on the outside as much as the inside line has, and so you see it kind of stall out there. But I say he doesn't have help. Here comes the cavalry behind him, as they're now 5-6 cars deep on that outside lane. If they can get organized, they can make a real run.
Yeah, they definitely can, and that's what they're trying to do, Brian. They're trying to get organized, as we see Matthews trying to get that push from Peden, but Tommy D, is that D'Angelo, I believe, right there? No, Jonathan Pereira, excuse me. Pereira is trying to, no, it's D'Angelo. Pereira's trying to give D'Angelo a shot.
As we saw the 76 there, abandon the outside line and drop into that hole on the inside. But yeah, this is what it's going to be all night, guys. Having to choose whether they're going to capitalize on getting a run or stay in line and help try and push the whole line in front of them ahead. And that's where you start to see some collisions happen. But looks like the inside line is where everybody wants to be. It's definitely the most organized of the group, but you'll see some guys pop out of line, try and get the outside organized again.
Yeah, definitely. And car in the wall. That's going to bring out our second caution of the day. Hard contact for Scott Matthews. And I think they were pushing just a little too hard right there, Brian, and put Matthews in the wall.
Yeah, if I had to guess before seeing the replay, I'm going to guess that somebody probably tried to change lanes and just clip the 7 of Scott Matthews there. So,
well, the good thing is it sounds like all is well on the radio, so that is a good thing. Usually you hear the tempers flare here at Talladega more than a short track, if you think about it.
Yeah, I have heard so much more complaining at super speedways than I have at short tracks. You are 100% right about that. But yeah, Scott Matthews is getting pushed from 24 and just looks like a bad bump in the left rear there and sent him head first into the wall.
Yeah, and that was very interesting because that happened down the down the front stretch. It didn't happen going into turn 1.
No, it didn't. As we see the 34 get collected, unfortunately there. It's a Red Sox delivery. I can't feel too bad for that, but
Chris Perry.
Yeah, Chris Perry is not too happy getting innocent bystander with the ricochet off the wall. But just adds insult to injury to the 7 of Scott Matthews, unfortunately. We'll have to come down and use up that fast repair because he has no right front fender. That's not very aerodynamic, even in a pack.
As Scott Matthews comes in, as Chris Perry comes in as well, sporting the Boston Red Sox, but it looked like I saw a Texas flag by his name.
I always get confused if that's the Texas or North Carolina flag, because I see Dale Jr. have that, and I know Dale Jr. is definitely not Texan, so I think that's the North Carolina flag.
I wonder. It looks like, because I thought I saw a star on there, but We cannot neither confirm or deny that. Maybe have to take a look later on.
Yeah. Well, it looks like Scott Matthews is choosing to save the fast repair and just get it repaired manually. I don't think defenders are that quick to fit in real life, but yeah, James Labarge, the 26th there, also getting caught up in that wreck. I did not see him come down pit road, so maybe he doesn't think the damage is as bad as it may be. But speaking of pit road, everybody else is going to come down anyway.
Yeah, and I was just going to add, Scott Matthews said that he tried to use his fast repair, but it didn't work. So now he's going to have to sit on pit road with all that damage. But oh my gosh, Travis Everett overshot his pit stall, has to back it up. But he'll lose some spots. But like we said, Brian, if we were at like a 1.5 miles or a short track, that might affect him, but not here at Talladega.
No, you can get away with quite a bit of damage if you're stuck plumb in the middle of the pack, but if you're up front, it's going to be a parachute, and if you're at the back of it, you're going to get dropped pretty quickly. So, you know, he might be hoping to kind of get pushed from behind and be tucked up with the car in front, and that'll kind of mask some of that aero damage. But looks like a lot of guys just came in for fuel. Talladega is not going to be a very abrasive track for tires, so I don't expect a lot of guys to be using up any of their 4 sets tonight. But definitely fuel. We'll be definitely fueling up.
Yeah, that'll definitely be as we take a look at the 32 Tommy D'Angelo.
So it looks like some of the guys during practice were getting about 18 laps on fuel, so
wow.
Granted, they haven't run 11 laps at full pace, but better be safe than sorry. It's a free top-up for fuel. But I didn't see anybody changing tires. It looks like Michael Peden is going to get an EOL penalty for causing that last collision. And we still have 1 to go before we go back green.
Yeah, 1 to go. When we hit the line, when we go back green, there'll be 48 laps to go. And you know, that's interesting with the fuel. Do you think they're going to have to stop again, or can they make it to the end?
Yeah, they'll probably have to stop at least a couple of times. As we see a few guys coming down to top up even more, potentially. Get a little bit off sequence with the rest of the guys. I will be curious if we're going to have any green flag pit stops, because that's always interesting at super speedways, getting slowed down in time for pit entry. And you don't necessarily have all the coordination as you do in real life of getting manufacturers together and getting all the spotters chatting together like high school girls in the cafeteria up on the spotter stand. But speaking of overshooting the pit box, Joshua Nunez thought that he was in Travis Everett's pit box there, looks like. Wanted to go say hello to the crew guys.
Yep.
As he still is having issues. I think he left it in reverse, having to back up from overshooting and didn't realize it. But no harm, no foul, under caution. Not really anything lost position-wise. He's lost all the positions he was going to coming to the pits. But looks like we're going to have Tommy D'Angelo restarting on the top spot there, and he's got the Coos brothers in second or third, to his outside and to his behind.
Yeah, definitely. Tommy D'Angelo, be leader. Jason Coos in second. Cody Adams in third. Justin Coos in fourth. I'm sorry, Justin Coos. Sorry, it's going haywire because they're trying to get in line.
Well, looking at the timing and scoring, Tommy D'Angelo and the Coos family have gotten to where they are because they did not pit. So that is certainly an interesting strategy call if they're only getting 18 laps on fuel. And we've done, I'd say, at least 7 or so green flag laps. So maybe betting on a quick caution after this. You know, cautions always do breed cautions. At least that's what they say. But they're coming out of turn 4 here. Lights are off the pace car, so it'll be dipping down pit road here shortly. Matter of fact, there it goes. And the field is in the hands of Tommy D'Angelo.
Yeah, D'Angelo getting up to the gears. Get a little digger cam footage right here. as they come
Get
rolling
in the
through.
restart zone.
Yep, in the restart zone, green flag. We are back underway at Talladega.
Yeah, great restart for Tommy D'Angelo, but looks like everybody else had a massive stack up. Maybe starting in the wrong gear, just had some wheel spin. But last thing you want to do at a super speedway is have a big old gap in front of everybody, because that just sets you as a sitting duck for the freight train coming, as we see the 827 of Jason Coos come closing into the back bumper of Tommy D'Angelo.
Yeah, definitely, and it's interesting hearing. It's like, we were talking about, the spotters trying to choreograph and see who they're going to go with. It's like, I always say, it takes you back to high school or junior high when you're at that dance and you're trying to ask that one girl to dance, and it's awkward. You got to go across the room and everybody's looking at you. And definitely, wouldn't you think that's what it's like? Trying to get your dance partner?
I never had that problem, but I never asked anybody, so.
I never had that problem either, because I never had a dance, school dance.
Exactly, but you're absolutely right. Yeah, trying to find that dance partner out there, trying to figure out who you work with, who you gel with, who's going to be a good pusher, who's going to be a good receiver of that push. It's definitely two different skill sets, and not everybody can do it well, that's for sure. But Highline's trying to be a little bit more organized, as we see guys still trying to drop down and stay in that low line. Somebody's trying to make it 3 wide back there. Was that Michael Peden, look like?
I believe so.
Looks like he might have thought better of it. Yep, he has thought better of it, as he's tucked behind the 12 Quack Pack racing car of Chris Toppings there. But the Highline's looking the most organized it has all race, in my opinion. They're definitely surging to the front.
Definitely.
Getting a little side dropped off the bottom there.
Yeah, looking. Travis Everett is now the driver who set the fastest lap of the race so far. He's all the way back in 13.
Yeah, and you see guys kind of offset their car a little bit, and they're doing that for 2 reasons. 1, to get airflow into the radiator, but 2, to figure out if they can push the guy in front of them or not, because when you're tucked up right behind a guy, you cannot see through the back window to figure out how close they are to that car in front. The last thing they want to do is push the pusher and cause a big old chain reaction stack up.
Yeah,
I say
definitely.
That it looks like a stack up on the bottom line from about 4th car on back there.
And I want to say, what a run from Cody Adams. He had the tough break at Bristol. Then he had the tough race at Las Vegas. Now he's out here at Talladega and running in P2 now. Oh, my gosh. Thought I saw
got a
something
huge
further in the
shove
back.
from McLaughlin behind there. Yeah, and you got to start wondering for D'Angelo and the Coos car if they're going to be dropping down to the pits here in a few laps or not, given that they're the only cars that haven't pit yet. So, but Cody Adams, he hit on lap 1. I think he had some damage from that very first incident that we had.
Yes.
He's worked his way back up to the front.
Yeah, and that just goes to show track position. You can afford to lose track position here, because it's all about the aerodynamics and which line you're going to go with to get up to the front. As we hit this, there's 44 laps to go. This is a short race. Brian, what's going through your mind if you're a driver, knowing that you got to stay patient because it's not go time, but again, there is a short race today.
Yeah, exactly. You're trying to stay patient, but in the back of your mind that there's going to be a big wreck, and you're just trying to guess on where it's going to come from and whether it's going to be behind you or in front of you, and you got to be alert to dodge it. So I know my strategy usually is on super speedway official races is I just ride around in the back and wait for everybody to die in front of me, and then with about 5 laps to go, I'll try and make some moves, but doesn't always work out, unfortunately. But I think that's just somebody stuck magnets in my car and then just keep finding it no matter where I am. But yeah, it's exercising patience, right? Everybody wants to race, everybody wants to be aggressive, but with super speedway racing, you can't do it on your own. You've got to have help. And if you go to make a move You know, say you're the third or fourth car in line and you try and make it 3 wide, you're just going to fall like a rock to the back of this pack.
Yeah, definitely. We are way past the infamous Bill Elliott 2 laps down win here at this world famous track. That was quite a story though in that Ford Thunderbird. That was crazy.
That was just a wild era in general.
I know, right?
Yeah, you're definitely not gonna get that. It would take a lot of luck to go 2 wheels down and get the wave around lucky dogs nowadays, and then be able to fight your way up to the front with a still partially wounded race car. But as we see, you know, the give and take of pack racing there, you see guys surge forward and then have to check up to make sure that they don't get into cars here. But if you're somebody like Ryan Mason, who we're on board with, you can kind of pick and choose what lane you want to go to, and it really just boils down to what you're feeling more comfortable in, the guys in front of you not wrecking it.
Yeah, definitely. As we see Scott McLaughlin, sorry, Brandon McLaughlin. Where did I get Scott McLaughlin? Brandon
I was like, wow, we're honored with the pro driver here.
That's right. I was thinking,
we got IndyCar in here.
The Buffalo Bill and Brandon McLaughlin getting a big shot from Chris Toppings. Oh, there goes Chris
Toppings. Just get turned by Peden.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Chris Perry. Oh, Joshua Nunez, your Bristol winner. Well, that could have been a lot worse than what it was. How did they?
Still pretty bad for a couple of our fast guys, though.
Yeah, definitely. And man, tough break. You know, Chris Toppings and Brad Harris starting with coming out with the Quack Pack Racing on the hood. They're excited about this, and unfortunately, Chris Toppings, great. Well, it's not over yet, but I think it was. I definitely think Peden accidentally got a turn in right there.
Yeah, what I think is what happened if we do the chase cam there of the 12 of Chris Toppings. What it looked like is he might have come down a little bit, tried to get a side draft, or maybe try and signal to the car in front to come down a little bit. And then when he went to go back up, he found that there was a car that was starting to take that spot he just vacated. So that super speedway racing, you know, all it takes is a guy putting a nose in the wrong spot, and yep, he moves down, and Peden doesn't lift, and next thing you know, they're both in the wall. Well,
and it's so close, and just the littlest mistake, like right there, Peden came off of Toppings' bumper and got to the, you know, the side of almost the quarter panel, and that's what sent him around. I mean,
yeah, and that's the nature of the next gen car. You know, you pull out a little bit on that right rear corner there, and the aero effect just kind of sucks you forward. You know, it's not anything malicious that Peden was trying to do, and he may not have even realized that is what was going to happen. But I tell you what, the big winners from this, as it looks like everybody's going to come down pit road, is how about the strategy call from the Coos cars and Tommy D'Angelo? This is their first time pitting, and they're going to pit all from the top 6.
Yeah, that's a great call from their crew chiefs. And Coos brothers.
Denny Hamlin needs your services.
Denny Hamlin. Oh, man. That's right. We were talking about that last time. And you told me Denny Hamlin's going to win the championship. I
was hopeful. He dominated, and then they made the call for 4 tires stupidly. But that's we're not here for my podcast tonight, so. But yeah, looks like we're gonna have
Joe Bonner.
Is that yeah? Looks like Joe Bonner and Jonathan Pereira did not pit, so they're going to inherit first and second. And of the cars that did pit, Travis Everett's going to win that race off pit road.
Yeah, Travis Everett, your pole sitter, using that, got that pit box number 1 really come into play. But yeah, Jonathan Pereira all the way up 19 spots, and Joe Bonner up 7 spots by staying out. This is going to be exciting right here when we go back green. As we hit the line, there'll be 38 laps to go right now. But when we go back green, there'll be, what, 37 laps to go? 38?
36, I think, to go when they
36.
take green.
Okay. So they're going to take another lap around this huge super speedway.
And as a reminder, us guys, even though they're taking a 2-week break for the holidays, they are going to do an All-Star Classic at Richmond Motor Speedway on Wednesday, November 26th, 200 laps, 4 sets of tires. Ooh, that's going to be less than entire management for that one. It'll be live right here on Racers NEXUS, where you can find every race this season at the Tobacco Road Racing League. And if you're interested, the link is in the description to join their Discord and sign up, and you too can be featured on the broadcast.
All right, and I think we're joined now by Mr. Chris Toppings from Quack Pack Racing, and he's got a special message for you, the viewers.
We just want to thank everybody for watching. This is a huge crowd. I'm gonna tell you that last one was really fun. Me and Michael just got pushing a little hard there. We're in a chat together, and I got turned. But anybody that's watching, if you don't have if you're not racing, you should start racing with us, because just keeps growing and growing. It's been a lot of fun, and we appreciate Emmett, Brian, Robin, doing the producing. We appreciate everything y'all are doing. Y'all do a great job, and we have been talking about Las Vegas all week long.
And Chris,
do what now?
What you got on the docket for next season, Chris?
We're going to do a 20 race season starting at the end of January. Kind of like a chase for the Cup too, with like the last 5 races, just a points based. But it's going to be, it looks like we're going to have a good crowd. So we're looking forward to it.
All right, that sounds good. We'll let you get back in that chat, because it looks like we're about to go green, and hopefully you can be at victory lane.
Yes, sir.
All right, and that was Chris Toppings, once again, driver of the number 12 Quack Pack Racing. Such a cool moment, we haven't got to interview a driver during the race, so that was definitely great to hear, and it's good to hear a driver's input also, isn't it, Brian?
Yeah, it definitely is. These guys, we've had the privilege of broadcasting them this season, and even from the previous league that a lot of these guys were in, and to see them grow has been really awesome. So definitely, if you guys are interested, use the link in the description, join the Discord, and get all the information on that 20 race season coming up in season 2. But right now we got a race to settle on the track, as these guys are coming through the tri-oval, heading down to the restart zone to get this race back under green.
Yeah, definitely. As we see, Joe Bonner will be the control car as he'll lead his first sets of laps today. Green flag back underway here at Talladega.
And you see the 31 of Smith assuming his position that he's had all night of being that pusher behind the leader. And just as we've seen all night, immediately locked on the rear bumper of whoever's leading this race. But equally locked is the 13 and 88 on the outside, as they have a huge run of momentum coming off of turn 2.
Yeah, and look at that. One of the Coos boys giving the shot, being the caboose, as James Johnson's actually going to move down in front of Joe Bonner to actually take the lead away from Travis Everett. Everett stacks up, trying to get the push from McLaughlin as they hit the line. Well, never mind, sorry. They're coming out of turn number 4 into the tri-oval, excuse me. And Johnson trying to take this lead. He's got it right now, but Everett is right there on his quarter panel, Brian.
Yeah, Everett getting a lot of help from the 6 of McLaughlin behind him there as they head down into turn 1. Johnson got a little bit of a gap to the 22 of Bonner, more than you would probably want to have on a super speedway, but doesn't seem to be hindering them. They're pulling back in front now, so try and get some energy in the high line. That's what Travis Everett's hoping for here, and try and make a challenge back for the lead as they head into NASCAR 3 and 4 once again. NASCAR's
and,
racing like it's a road course.
and that's going to be our 4th caution of the day. Going to come out on lap number 25. Sorry, I had to look there for a second. So James Johnson
Looks like
will
it
be
was
your leader.
the 29 of Ryan Mason. Looks like the 26 of James LaBarge was involved in that as well.
Hey, James LaBarge has some damage, and yeah, Ryan Mason too. Let's take a look and see what happened right here. Let's see. Oh, Chris Perry.
I'll tell you what happened there. Chris Perry is a monster drinker and did not like being behind a Red Bull car. But
Yeah.
no, in all seriousness, the 20. Oh my gosh, that ping pong hit from the
Wow.
26. Wow.
Oh my gosh, Brad Harris almost got shot right
That-
there too.
That might have been one of the worst netcode reactions I think I've seen in a minute on iRacing. We have to get an onboard of the 26 if we can, because that was wild.
That was a violent hit into that wall.
He looked like a flipper in a pinball machine there.
Yeah. So that'll be our 4th caution of the day. As we take a look, James LaBarge's view.
Oink.
Oh man.
And you can tell it's a hard hit because it just absolutely broke the right front immediately on the 26. But yeah, it just looked like the 29 got up high, and the 34 of Perry just kind of similar to what brought out the last caution. Just got pulled forward a little bit, didn't lift, and corner of bumper met corner of bumper, and next thing you know, cars around and then in the wall. I guess it's fitting for Ryan Mason that he got treated like a pinball with that chrome car that he's got currently. It looks like it's colored like a pinball.
Yeah, an awesome looking scheme.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ryan, I'm not saying that you deserve to be wrecked there. I'm just making fun of the fact that you're a chrome car and you got treated like a pinball there. So, but yeah, hate to see that for Ryan Mason. Just unfortunate victim there. But he's going to come down to pit road and look to get that Red Bull WeatherTech chrome and matte black's car fixed up and back in the hunt.
Yeah, and our
House with a K. Got it. Thank you for the correction.
So we want to correct that. It is Jason and Justin Kaus instead of Coos. But
I'm just hungry, so I heard couscous, but Kaus makes sense.
well, I was thinking, like the Coos deer, out there in the desert.
Yeah, true.
As work lap number 27, we'll have 34 laps to go as James Johnson.
Sweet.
But another interesting point, Brian, while we were, discussing that, Joe Bonner came in and got his service done.
Yeah, so looking at timing and scoring, you've got Brad Harris, Joe Bonner, who were 2 cars that came in and pit for service, and then you had Ryan Mason and James LaBarge that came down to fix their damage. But, pardon me, the hiccups decided they wanted to make an appearance. But, yeah, so, they're 4 or 5 laps more fueled up as we start clicking down towards the end of this race. Starting to see some different strategies play out. I definitely don't think that we're done with the cautions. I did take the over on 5, if you recall, so we were only at 4. But yeah, 27 laps that we've ran, 11 of them have been behind the pace car, which is nobody's happy about. But more importantly, we've only had 1 car exit the race, so everybody has still been able to maintain, get their damage fixed in one fashion or the other, and still be in this race. So still a big pack of cars, which means a lot of action for us to call.
Yeah, definitely. So a lot of action to call as we see Chris Perry coming back on. He was involved in that last caution flag, but he did get the car fixed, so maybe this is just the top off. What do you think?
Unless he didn't get it all fixed and is coming back down to get the rest of it fixed. have to get a closer view on that front end there, but either that, it looks pretty clean. So maybe it's just a strategy call of topping up the fuel tank with an extra lap or two of fuel compared to the guys in front of them.
Oh, he goes tires.
Yeah, get some tires too. Even though you don't really get them, it's free, so why not? It's not going to lose any positions, but more importantly, lights are off the pace car again, which we're going green this time by.
Yes, lights are off on the pace car. There will be 32 laps to go when they hit the line. James Johnson is your leader, followed by Joseph Smith, followed by Travis Everett, Brandon McLaughlin, Scott Drost, Jason Kaus, Cody Adams, Justin Kaus, Xavier Riegelbrook, and Ronald Braylon round out your top 10. So here we go, folks.
Ronald Braylon's a name that we usually talk about a lot, and he's been fairly quiet this evening, but he is up 13 places so far in the race tonight, so quietly making his way towards the front.
Yeah, and that's how he was at Bristol, you know. He led a lot of laps, started in the back, but led a lot of laps when he got up there. Had a great run, and then had a good run at Vegas. No, was he? He was one of the cars that didn't make Vegas, wasn't it?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember. I think he was there. Anyways, regardless, we're getting ready to go back green as they come through the Tri-Oval. Pace car hits pit road. James Johnson will be the control car as they enter the restart zone. Getting up to speed. Here they come. It's a long way to the start-finish line as the green flag waving as we're back underway here at Talladega.
Yeah, good line on the 88 there on the bottom line. He's bringing the the 13 with him of Everett, followed by the 31 of Smith, and the 6 of McLaughlin is going to tuck in. Yes, he will. So top 4 cars all on the bottom line make it top 5 cars as from 6th place on back there, 2 by 2.
Yeah, and all James Johnson sees is that big old rooster right there in his rear view from Travis Everett on the front of his car. As now Brandon McLaughlin is now being shuffled out. He's getting a big push from Ron Braylon along with Michael Peden. Here comes this high side, Brian. They're trying to get formed up.
Yeah, you hope that there's no incidents there. You see the 23 of Braylon kind of dancing around, trying to figure out where to go. But, you know, that kind of half lane move is what spells trouble. But you see the 31 jump up to the high side. He's tired of running behind. Maybe seeing if there's anything to do. Not seeing it, he drops back down into P3 on the bottom line. But, yeah, it looked like, you know, you had 3 lanes form with
big shot.
The 6 and the 23 kind of pulled out a line from being on the bottom to restart, and they're going to go 3 wide with the 23 going to look around moving the 6.
Yeah, as we see, it looked like the 23 got sucked in that sucker hole, and then he took Brandon McLaughlin with him. And now that will move them way back there as they have dropped dramatically. But now they're trying to get formed back up is Braylon and Peden as they're trying to get Nunez and McLaughlin. They're negotiating saying, hey, y'all just come up and we'll get this top line going and we'll go to the front. But Nunez staying tough on the bottom.
I'll tell you, a big winner of all that shuffling is the number 2 car of Drost, though. He's up 15 spots in this race.
Car on the apron.
Holds it together, but there we see the 6 and the 23 dart back up. They're going to look to meet up with the 3 car pack led by the 24 Peden.
Now Peden's getting a big shot from the 55. That's going to be Xavier Riegelbrook. Now he's getting a shot from Cody Adams. Trying to get a shot from Cody Adams. As we ride on board now with Cody Adams, trying to get to Riegelbrook's back bumper to get this high side going as they're 2 by 2 by 2 further back from the leaders.
Yeah, it looks like he had the 6 come up there. Looks like somebody else was thinking about going up there, but that gap didn't close quick enough and so went back down. But I seen that coming with the 23 getting hooked. That
Man.
Went to go move down there, and I'm not sure who that was that turned him, but he was not ready to give up that spot or that run that he had.
We stay green. Oh, never mind. There's the caution flag for the 5th time tonight. I was about to say we're staying green, but we'll have to take a look because
Yeah, it looked like 2 separate incidents there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it looked like 5 of Xavier Regerbrug just kind of slowly moved down and didn't realize that there was a nose already onto the bottom side there. And looking at the 23 incident, looked like he went to go move to the bottom side. Yeah, Cody Adams is there, and Xavier just probably got told he was clear, and he wasn't clear. So fire your spotter, Xavier. Unfortunately, he lied to you.
Yeah, it'd be like it'd be like Todd Dillon's sponsor when I got to the track.
Yeah, but the Ronald Braylon incident looked like he was down there, and whoever was buying him just didn't like the fact that he had come down and maybe viewed that as a block because he was down below the yellow when that contact was made. So.
Justin Cass must not be a Bubba Wallace fan.
Yeah, I'll have to watch that from Justin's POV, but it's hard to tell if Braylon was down there and Justin just didn't want to give up the run, or similar to the Regelbrug incident, he already had a nose there. But as we go on board here, looking out the front windshield of the 455 here coming on the backstretch, look for that 23 car on the outside, so he's gonna have a big old run and
down on him. Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think he kind of caused that to happen. You know, he was doing the nice thing of going below the apron to give the 23 room, but unfortunately, when you go below the yellow, it's on you to come up cleanly, and that did not happen there. So, but on the 23's part, he definitely was very slow to move down the track and take that slot in the bottom lane. But so we see a bunch of cars come to pit road here, including the 88 of James Johnson, who overshoots his pit box. That's the 3rd time tonight.
Yes.
Need to get their pit guys in neon pink or something, make it easier to see.
Yeah, they need the old pit signs, you know, where they can actually see, you know, get it glowing.
Yeah, go back to the Days of Thunder days with the guy standing out in the middle of the road holding the sign, and you play target practice aiming at him.
Or like, so we're at 5 cautions, Brian. So you still think you're taking the over?
I'm liking my over bet at this point.
Yeah.
If we were at the Vegas tables, I'd be up in my bed at this point.
Well, I was thinking, you know, for their pit wall, you know, the bottle service people, the signs they hold up, you know, like, it's so-and-so's birthday. They could use those and get them in lights.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Well, I'm sure quite a few guys would love some bottle service right now in this race. But with all that shuffling under caution and with people taking to pit road, we've got the 32 of D'Angelo that has assumed the lead. He's up 13 spots overall tonight. But the biggest mover so far, based on my quick look at the standings, is man on the screen at the moment, number 13 of Tyler LaBarge. He started 17th. He is currently up to P3. So a guy that we haven't really talked about tonight, but that's usually a good thing because we've only been talking about guys that have been making mistakes or getting wrecked.
Well, here's the thing also. I mean, this is playing into, you know, we talked about Tommy D'Angelo taking the lead. We think about earlier where he didn't pit and stayed out for quite a bit. As this race is winding down, we're going to get less than 25 to go when we go back green. It's going to be very close, but if they get another caution, Tommy D'Angelo might come out on top.
Yeah, you know, pretty soon when you get under 10 to go, you start flipping to, are you going to have a green-white checker? Which is a very high probability at a super speedway race. I think we all would agree with that. But yeah, D'Angelo's leading a pack of 5 or 6 cars at last pit on lap 21. So they're definitely the lowest of the bunch with regards to fuel level at the moment. But you know, you can save a lot of fuel running behind a pace car. So that 18 laps that they were doing in practice at wide open throttle is not quite translating to the race because we've not gotten a bunch of green flag running. But lights are off the pace car, looks like. So we're going to go green this time by. We're going to have 24 laps to go. I can do math. And we're going to see how it shakes out. If we're going to get some green flag pit stops, or if we're going to make my bet come true and have a 6 caution, and everybody's going to dive to the pits for some full service.
If I was a bet man, I would bet that they would cover. But anyways, I was going to mention D'Angelo rocking. It looks like the old Braun Racing number 32 font on that beautiful looking Chevy Camaro, I believe, until 2026 is when we get the new name. But Camaro for now.
Yep. Yeah, he's
So
got
here we go, folks.
Matthews lining up. Matthews, who had that huge wreck and that massive damage earlier in the race, he is fully repaired and is now sitting in 2nd place. And he's going to be restarting on the outside row here. Talk about a turnaround.
Yeah, definitely a great turnaround.
But definitely shout out to the 13 of Labarge for the paint scheme with that Tide retro throwback that he's got going on. That's pick of the night for me for paint schemes.
So here we go. Pace car hits pit road. Coming through the tri-oval as they're approaching the restart zone. Tommy D'Angelo will be the control car. He'll lead them back to the green as 25 laps remaining as we go back underway here at Talladega.
As we see the 7 of Matthews slot down onto the bottom lane there. That'll promote the 827 of Kaus to the leader of the high line. You'll see them drop back initially on... Yeah, you'll see them drop back initially on the restart, but if they can get organized, it won't be long until they're fighting for the lead of this thing.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like 13 has decided he runs better on the high side, but for now we've got the 32 of D'Angelo leading the 3-car pack with a little bit of gap back to the 22 of Bonner.
Yeah, they're going to have to get a big push now. Nunez isn't close enough, but now, if you look right here, Brad Harris in the number 9 machine, he's going to go down to the bottom and get behind Drost. So he ditches Justin Kaus, who's pushing his brother or cousin. We have not been yet confirmed on if they even are family. But as we see Tyler Labarge
go
now.
3 wide here.
Wow, very unorganized. And that's going to hurt them as the bottom line is just going to freight train them. But now look at this. Brad Harris is going to shoot to the outside, trying to get help from his Quack Pack Racing teammate of Chris Toppings. And remember, Chris was involved in that wreck earlier, but he's got that car all fixed up, and it's looking fast, Brian.
Yeah, Brad Harris had a massive run coming off of the backstretch in turn 3 here, and probably had some inter-team dialogue going and said, all right, I'm going to take this momentum, you come with me. And it was 2 cars, then it was 3 cars when Peden came up. Now you're looking at 6 or 7 cars, but they're taking that momentum and taking it 3 wide.
Yeah, and look right here. They're trying to get the 3rd line going with Travis Everett in the sucker hole right now because they ain't got enough energy to get a 3rd line going. But here comes Peden with the big shot from Harris and the other Quack Pack driver, Mr. Chris Toppings. Big shot as they go 3 wide as Joseph Smith is going to push our pole sitter, Travis Everett, trying to get him up to the front. Now they're going to shoot in front of Peden. And now this is all going on as D'Angelo continues to lead.
Yeah, starting to see some shuffling around there. What was 3 lanes is now 2 big lanes as they're taking all that energy and putting it forward, and Travis Everett's making a huge push towards the front. He's currently up to P5 and looking to go higher.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, as disorganized as this line is, they're definitely making more progress than I thought they were. But every time they get a run, somebody 3 or 4 cars back wants to try and make a 3rd lane. So if these guys were smart, they would definitely have better organization, because that bottom line has not gotten organized yet either.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. As we see right here, Chris Toppings getting a big shot from Breland because Breland got a big shot from Riegelbrook. And now Topping's trying to get up to the back of his teammate of Brad Harris, trying to push this outside line all the way to the front. And now we see they're getting very disorganized. And now we got a new leader. No, never mind. Sorry, I jumped the gun. So now Smith jumps down in front of Everett, and we do have a new leader. It's going to be Travis Everett, your pole sitter.
Yeah, he went from that sucker hole to using the second lane once they collapsed.
Oh my gosh!
Oh man, is that Brad Harris that just forced the? No,
Chris
that was
Topping.
Chris Toppings that just forced James Johnson down onto the apron. Well, Hell did not have a caution there from the 88, but he is certainly not going to be happy with the 12 at the moment.
Oh my gosh, big shot coming from Peden. Peden says, we got to go, Chris. As Chris Toppings gets another big shot from Peden. These guys got to be careful.
Watch the 88. He's got a huge draft off that lead pack.
God.
He's going to take that run right there. Yep. Absolutely slingshot engaged right there. That's what I was saying in the pre-race. When you're, third, fourth, fifth car in line, you get a massive run of draft that you don't get from a two-car tandem. And he said, "Thank you very much. I'm going to lead this outside line for a change. Maybe I can get you guys organized behind me."
Well, you got to think about it. It's kind of like F1 with the slipstream. And I'm gonna say that's what it is. Of course, I'm not the best aficionado when it comes to F1, but I believe, wouldn't you agree, that is kind of what it is?
Yeah, this is NASCAR's equivalent of the DRS system, but
yeah.
Well, if there was any bad blood between the 88 and the 12, they're not shooting it, but the 24 finishes the job for him as he shoots the 12 hard up into the wall. We're staying green at the moment, and now the caution's out.
Oh, that was wow.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look and see if that was another netcode incident or if that was just a very poorly timed hit from the 24. But
being
they're
told
still
to
wrecking
wreck,
on the backstretch.
I was about to say, they just came on and said that they wrecked under yellow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, looks like Cody Adams and the 22 of Bonner, perhaps. As we see Bonner driving away there at the bottom of the screen, but
Peden and Bonner,
yeah, and Breland, yeah, and then Adams and Bonner. They just felt left out of the caution. They wanted to be a part of it.
I know, right?
Well, actually, it looks like Bonner was taking some avoidant action, and Adams may have been the innocent bystander there, but. Yeah, we'll have to see what happened between Peden and Breland there.
You were talking about official races and what you play. Oh my gosh, hard shot into a wall. I think when I used to do the rookie open races, official races at Talladega and Daytona, you talking about Battle Royale with cars. I mean, good Lord.
Yeah, Fortnite would have nothing on that, but yeah, going back to the 24 and 12 incident there, it looks like the 12 might have gotten a little bit loose, and the 24 wanted to keep pushing them, and hard to tell if that may have been a message being sent from the 23 to the 24 there. I'll have to get a different look on that, but definitely.
Came down.
Well, I mean, it was a manual caution. It was not an iRacing caution, so they're still racing hard at this point, I think. No, the yellow flag's out now. But yeah, that
he didn't know that.
I would be a little suspicious on that one. That was so delicately touched in the left rear, so I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's a.
Yeah, the caution's out here, so. It's not like he's directly in line with him, but I mean, it's very true. There was a little bit of overlap there. He could have lifted and caught the 23 off guard, but from the onboard of the 23, it looks like he kind of drifts up ever so slightly to say, hey, that wasn't very nice what you did to league owner Chris Toppings back there.
Yeah. Now, wasn't that the paint scheme that Gordon was running when he beat Junior, and they threw all the beer cans at his car?
I will have to take your word for it. I admit that I haven't been the best of NASCAR fans in the last few years, but I will take your word for that one.
I think that was back in. Okay, so they're cousins.
You had that one wrong, right? Well done.
Well, I said it was a 50-50. Either
Well,
they're
you were the first
cousins
one to
or
bring
they're
up
brothers.
cousins, so yeah, I said brothers or father son because that's usually what I run into. But cousins,
Yeah.
I didn't have picked. But good to know. Hey, it's still good to see family though. Still good to see family. You love to see it. Absolutely love
Well,
to see it. If I could get my brother on here and he would have the time to do it, I would love that. But anyway, going back to the race at hand, we got 13 from 31. Travis Everett from Joseph Smith there is. Looks like everybody came down to pit road except for maybe Chris Toppings. Well, Chris Toppings would have pit before everybody to fix that damage. But so everybody has come down to pit road to top up fuel. And I suspect that will be the last pit stop unless we
yes.
have another caution. And they did cover my bet. So thank you guys.
I was about to say you need to go play the lottery or something because you did hit.
Dude, I wish I was this lucky on stuff that actually pays out money.
Oh, dude, parlays, man. I don't want to. That's another topic for another time.
Yeah, if only they were legal in Texas, right?
Well, there's a way around that.
Anyway, I like being on this side of the jailhouse.
I mean,
but
it's just underdog.
so let's see. We've got we'll have 14 laps to go when we come back to green, as the lights just went off the pace car, so we'll be coming to green with 14 to go, which means we should have everybody covered from a fuel perspective. So barring any other cautions, this will be a flat-out dash to the finish.
Buckle up. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. It's been an exciting race. I can't imagine how they're going to top it for the last stanza of this race, but they're certainly going to try. Got a lot of fast cars in the back. You got the 41 of Joshua Nunez, who we currently got on the screen. He was a contender at the front of the pack for a lot of the early part of this race and found himself involved as a bystander in an accident, and he's been looking to claw his way back up to the front ever since then, so you know he's got pace. You got the 13 of LaBarge that was up at the front during a couple of restarts ago. He's fast. Not to mention, of course, Chris Toppings, league owner. You know he's fast as well. So that's 3 cars in the back of this field that are very fast and will be looking to make their way up to the front ASAP.
Yeah, definitely. As taking a look, this is going to be very interesting. Travis Everett, your pole sitter. We don't see this much, Brian, the pole sitter leading with 15 to go at Talladega.
No, you definitely don't. And I think he's seen every position on the grid in this race. He's been up at the front, he's been at the back, and now he's back up at the front again. So I think he'd prefer to stay up here this time around, if I'm honest. But we got a pair of Mustangs, the 13 and 31, that are going to lead this field back to green flag here. We'll have 14 to go at the line.
Yeah, good old-fashioned Chevy versus Ford. It's the 2 Mustangs leading the pack and the 2 Chevys behind them. Here we go, folks, as they enter the restart zone, and we're back underway here at Talladega.
Immediately you see the 31 take up his position he's held all night of being top pusher.
Oh, James
whoever
Johnson
is in front of him.
Okay, he was able to get down. I was about to say, James Johnson got hung out to dry right there.
Yeah, he did not have a good restart there and was definitely in danger of getting shuffled way back if that gap did not appear there. And 5th spot there as he's got his eyes full of the pink Ford Racing Mustang of Xavier Regelbrook in front of him. Xavier, who had damage earlier in the race, has got that car all fixed up, and he's looking racy.
Well, you got to be thinking, Joseph Smith is hoping that Xavier can get up there so these two teammates can work together and try to get this lead back from Everett.
Yeah, as we see Joshua Nunez, he's making his way up. Although he's hoping to hang on to the back of this pack at the moment. And he definitely does not want to be side by side with anybody at the moment.
Yeah, but the problem is he is side by side with Pereira as they go down the back
About to go
stretch.
3 wide here shortly.
Wow. Yeah, Joe Bonner. Now they're passing James LaBarge. Man, that middle line is trying to come up in form as Peden shoots down in front of Pereira to get the momentum, to give the push to Justin Kaus, and give the push to Braylon. And looky here, this is a great onboard shot of, I believe this is Brandon McLaughlin trying to get a shot from Cody Adams on the inside line.
Yeah, based on what we've seen tonight, I don't know if I would feel comfortable with Michael Peden behind me. But I expect that you're going to see some jockeying here and within a few laps to figure out who you can run with to the finish. Who's a good pusher, who can take those hard bumps that you're going to need to get clear of these guys, whether you're trying to finish a run till it's the front and get clear of a pack, or if you're just trying to maintain. As we see a little bit of a gap forming between James Johnson and Xavier Regerbrug. Looks like two car tandems trying to break away here, as everybody from about 10th on back here is running side by side or even
Big
3 wide
drop.
as Michael Peden's looking to take it to the outside, but he's got no help at the moment.
Yeah. Great looking shot from our chopper from track cams. As now we see Pereira trying to give Peden a shot. All this going on as Travis Everett continues to lead. There'll be 11 laps to go when they hit the line.
Yeah, those guys are not waiting around. They said, you know what, you guys want to fiddle around back there and run 2x2 or 3, we out. Y'all can fight for the rest of it. We got a race to win up here. So we see a 4-car breakaway train at the moment.
And it's interesting, Brian, because Xavier Regelbrug and Joseph Smith from Chesapeake Racing are really trying to get hooked up together, but Brad Harris is the roadblock that is not allowing these two to get hooked up.
Yeah, and now the pack behind them is organized and is coming in a hurry. So that 4-car pack is going to be under pace car again, as we have our 6th caution of the night.
Yeah, Michael Peden hard in the wall. The 7th caution of the day comes out on lap 50. And
looks like he was involved with the 459 of Justin Kaus.
I believe so. Let's see right here.
He just gets a massive run.
Oh man!
And just turns into a wrecking ball.
Yep, he came in like a wrecking ball right there.
Yeah, he was definitely channeling Miley Cyrus on that one. I don't know where he was thinking he was going to go there. So
that's what I was thinking. As you see right here.
Yeah, he almost takes out the 29. He's just I don't forget who the guy was that said it, but he's channeling that I'm not lifting till I see the checkers or Jesus.
Oh, that's old Andy J. Andy J.
Yeah.
At
he was
in the ARCA.
Exactly. He was pretending he was him there. Almost took out the 29 and got finished off with the 459. So.
Yeah, definitely. So here we
We'll
go.
see
folks.
if he still has a fast repair or not.
So that is our 7th caution for 19 laps. We've had 4 lead changes as Travis Everett continues to lead. So here we go. We're coming down to 10 laps to go. I don't think we'll see any takers as Michael Peden's only car on pit road getting that damage fixed. Travis Everett has led 24 laps today. And Chris Perry also coming down. I think Chris Perry thinks, Brian, there's going to be a green-white checker trying to get that top off.
Yeah, I haven't seen him come back out yet, so I don't know if he's called it a day and said, all right, this is too much for me. We're a small budget team. We can't afford to write off the chassis. But as we see, yeah.
I was going to say we're sponsored by the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah. Hey, we have to save our money for free agents in the off season, but as we saw Peden leaving pit road there before the pace car came around and put him a lap down. Not sure if he got all his damage fixed, but we're going to go around for one more. I did not see anybody else come down. I take that back. We had 3 cars come down. Ryan Mason, Justin Kaus, and James LaBarge and Scott Drost all came down to top up with fuel. Likely thinking that we're going to have a green-white checker. That's a safe bet based on how tonight's gone so far, I think.
Well, you got to think about it. I mean, Justin Kaus has to be holding his hands above his head like, what, you know, I mean, you think back, you think to like Brad Keselowski, Austin Cindric. But yeah, that was a crazy move by Michael Peden, and it just shows that the action was ramping up. I mean, there was what, 12 laps to go, so I mean he had a run, but just not judging when he needed to make that move, and he ended up in the wall.
Yeah, not quite as dumb as the Toyota contingent with Bubba Wallace at Talladega this year when they all pit together, came out together, and then had a very bad bump going into turn 3 and everybody into the wall. But it was pretty high up there, I think. Definitely just did not gauge his distance to other cars well. And in Kaus's case, he's should be fortunate that he didn't get taken up into the wall with him. So probably picked up some slight damage, although it's not shown at the moment, so maybe he got away with it. But just cycling through the field here. Peden looks like he did get his car fixed, so we'll see if he can dent up any more body panels on this restart. Expecting the lights on the pace car to go off this time by, and we will be 1 to go.
And you gotta always bring up, when you think of Talladega, you gotta bring up the Busch Series race, and you gotta bring up Mr. Kevin LePage.
Thankfully, we haven't had any green flag stops to worry about having our own LePage moment tonight. But yes, definitely a highlight or low light, maybe you might say, for history of Talladega over the years. I know certainly Kevin LePage probably is still in hiding from public ridicule on that one.
So here we go. There'll be 7 laps to go when we go back green. Travis Everett's going to be your leader, followed by Joseph Smith, Brad Harris in 3rd, Xavier Rigoberg in 4th. And something interesting, Brian, the 2 Chesapeake cars, they're back together now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm excited for this restart because I think this is the first one of the night where Joseph Smith hasn't been behind a car. So we'll see how he does as the pushee instead of the pusher this time around. But yeah, to your point, the Chesapeake teammates are nose to tail starting on that outside lane. And as we've seen, they'll probably drop back on the start, but if they get help from behind, look for them to make a push towards the front very quickly.
Well, then also you got to look at, we see Brad Harris riding around there in P3, but James Johnson is right behind him in P5.
Yeah, so you got 2 Chevy teammates there in P3 and P5. So even though they're not teammates, they are team alliance. Or manufacturer alliance, I guess I should say. So definitely some interesting strategy playing out of who's going to go with who. But as they're coming through the trial, we'll heading down to the restart zone and get this thing back going again with 6 to go at the line.
Here we go, folks. They hit the restart zone. Travis Everett, the control car, gets a good jump, and green flag back underway here at Talladega. 7 laps to go.
As we see, Travis Everett got that shove from Brad Harris behind. He's going to jump out in front. That puts the 31 of Smith effectively P3 with his teammate behind him, but they're starting to make a run to the front here. Everybody dancing around.
Yeah,
that Highline's looking pretty solid.
Yeah, the two Chesapeake teammates working together. Joseph Smith goes to the lead. Here comes Travis Everett with a big shot from the Quack Pack team of Brad Harris. As they hit the line, there'll be 6 laps to go this time by.
Yeah, the Chesapeake teammates have got Scott Matthews with them behind him. He's looking up to the high side, getting some air into that radiator, maybe seeing if he can get some help to make it 3 wide up there. But the Chesapeake teammates, 31 and 55, are going to drop to the bottom as they're wrecking behind.
Big wreck coming out of it. It's the big one, everybody. We knew it was coming, and this time it has happened. Claimed several drivers, several contenders, Joshua Nunez, Tommy D'Angelo, and so forth. Michael Peden also involved.
Looks like he might have gotten out of this one, but other cars not so lucky.
Oh, man.
It's the wreck that keeps on giving.
So, I think that, well, Cody Adams just came on the radio and said, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I got on the gas in first gear." So, I don't think that was as,
he's got that wheel counter steered. Yeah, he was trying to keep all 550 horsepower under him there.
Yeah, that 550 horsepower. Of course, they did. Did you see where they did as we take a look at the replay right here?
Just a bad bump there.
Oh, James Johnson.
Yeah, just a bad bump from that high line, turned him down in front of everybody on the bottom side. Just nothing that could be done about it.
Justin Kaus also involved right here. Yeah, just got pinched. Oh, big shot from Jason Kaus.
Yeah, it looks like D'Angelo checked up from getting pinched there 3 wide, and Kaus behind just couldn't react quick enough and ended up.
Joe Bonner.
Yeah, Joe Bonner with the shark livery on his helmet. It looks like a shark just took a chunk out of that right front as it's missing the fender there.
Yeah, definitely shark attack right there. I heard the music. As now we take a look at John Pereira on pit road.
Yeah, and for all those guys that either had been clean all race or had been fixing the damage manually and have the fast repair left, they're going to be at a huge advantage compared to some of these other guys that have been in wrecks all night.
Yeah, definitely.
But Chesapeake teammates got what they wanted. They're now leading 1-2. Unfortunately, we don't have the choose rule yet, so they're going to be lining up side by side instead of nose to tail like you would expect them to be. So curious to see if... well, what we've seen before, where they'll be talking and maybe one car try and lag behind a little bit and create a hole for the teammate to slot in behind them. You certainly hear a lot of that during the Daytona 500 special event and others. So, but James Johnson coming down to pit road there, fixing up any little bit of damage he got, potentially topping up for fuel as well.
Cody Adams on pit road as well in P14. Chris Toppings is going to be your lucky dog recipient, I believe. No, not Chris Toppings. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, Chris Toppings is going to be the lucky dog recipient. So that'll get him back on the lead lap. Currently 22nd. So he's got a long way to go before he gets to his Black Pack Racing teammate, Brad Harris. And I don't think that's what Harris wants to hear.
No, but credit to Harris. He's been able to fend off the challengers on his own tonight. So, but he'll be lining up second car on the outside line. Definitely look for him to give a shove to the 55 of Regelbrug in front of him. on this restart to try and clear both of them of that inside line and drop down and fight it out coming to the finish. So looks
Well, I
like
wonder. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
oh, you're right. We're gonna have 2 laps to go, so I think or 3 laps to go. So I think we're just outside of a green-white checker. I don't believe I've seen a notification pop up yet, so it'll be interesting if they can keep it green for a couple laps to avoid having a green-white checker. But definitely some of these guys that have come down pit road probably suspecting we will have a green-white checker.
So here's what I'm wondering. If Brad Harris, as they're still on it, they still have, is pit road still open? So I wonder if Brad Harris.
Yes.
Okay. Wonder if Brad Harris and Scott Matthews are working out a deal, alliance, since they're both Chevys, if they're going to try to work together to beat these Fords.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because, unfortunately, without the choose rule, you got guys starting next to teammates or next to their manufacturer alliance. So I expect there to be some jockeying to get down to the bottom line as quick as possible in this restart, and then make it a lap or two, and then try and get some runs, back it up out of corners, and get some take advantage of runs that they get going down the backstretch or maybe going through the tri-oval. So lights are off on the pace car. We are going to go green this time by. The 2 Chesapeake Racing teammates side by side on the front row. And then you got our pole sitter, Travis Everett, in P3, and next to him is Quack Pack Racing's Brad Harris in the number 9 Chevrolet.
Well, then you also got Jake. So being told that there is Chesapeake fans out there. Chesapeake Nation, you got to hoop and holler. You got to get loud, get off your feet, and really cheer on these 2 cars if you want to see one of them get that victory and go 1-2 for Chesapeake Racing. But I was going to say, Jason Cowles has moved up there, and looking at this, Brad Harris has 2 Chevys along with the 3 Fords. So it's Chevy against Ford, and if these Chevys can get together, this could be trouble for Chesapeake Racing along with Brandon McLaughlin.
Yeah, I think it's just going to boil down to who gets the better restart. So we've seen Travis Everett have great restarts all night. You know, Joseph Smith has had great restarts as a pusher. He had a fairly decent restart this last time with his teammate behind him. But now it's teammate versus teammate as we're going to go back green here.
Here we go, folks. Joseph Smith will be the control car. His teammate Riegelbrug on the outside as they come out of the tri-oval into the restart zone, and green flag back underway here at Talladega.
Yep, and you saw it.
Oh, yep.
Smith fires off and immediately pulls up in front of his teammate, leaving Everett high and dry. Now you've got 5 cars nose to tail on the high line, but I guarantee somebody's going to drop to the bottom side.
Yeah, and look at, and we're going to a green light checker. Brandon McLaughlin has went around.
Looks like Ryan Mason involved in that. Uh-oh, McLaughlin's gotten beached on the apron there. That's not going to be good.
That's
oh, he's got it reversed. Okay.
Oh, he got it.
I thought we were going to have an Austin Dillon situation there for a minute.
All right, here we go. As we take a look at the replay, let's see what happened. D'Angelo. Oh, man, James Johnson again.
I think that's the replay of the big one that led to the
I was going to say, that's the big one, I think.
Either that or they're very good about wrecking in the same way.
I was about to say, wow. Okay, here we go. Let's see.
Spinning up ahead. D'Angelo does not slow down. Gets down to the apron. Makes it through. The one time that Cole Triple in it pays off.
Or Lightning McQueen.
Yeah, Lightning McQueen, you got to go up in the catch fence for that one. But oh goodness,
Oh, Breland.
yeah, the 23 gets pinched there with nowhere to go and turns whoever that was on the outside there, the 6 of McLaughlin. Yeah, it looks like McLaughlin came down, tried to get in front of the 3, not realizing that he already had a half of the car there next to him, and physics is going to physic.
James LaBarge got into the back of Ryan Mason on the checkup. Didn't see it. As we take a look at Tommy D'Angelo's view. Yep, that's what happened. James Johnson, great job avoiding it. Oh, Scott Drost.
Yeah, talk about guys that need to play the lottery tonight. Scott Drost, your name just went to the top of that list. Can I have your luck in official races, please, sir?
For real.
Actually, James Johnson, I will take your luck. That never happens to me. I don't know what that feeling's like. I make moves like that, and then I get cleaned out by a guy coming back up the track from the low side, so... See, like right here, see, like right there, the 6 would have turned up.
Damage.
Yeah, it looked like some netcode there. It fixed itself.
Yeah.
Some sympathy netcode for a change. After he had that bad netcode checkup at the very beginning of the race, it felt bad and returned the favor. So.
All right, Chesapeake racing fans out there, I know you're out there. I said it once, I'll say it again. You got to get loud and proud if you want Joseph Smith or Xavier Riegelbrod to win this race.
Yeah, I'm curious in the chat if y'all have a favorite driver. I know it's like picking your favorite child, but surely you guys have to have a pick.
I mean, Riegelbrod's got the better looking picture. Look at him looking all fresh right there.
I mean, the neon chrome pink does go hard. I have to admit
right?
that's a pretty solid color scheme there. It's just not a color you see in NASCAR. I don't know why, unless you're Daniel Suarez. I mean, Daniel Suarez has had some great paint schemes over the last couple of seasons.
We'll see if he continues.
But I don't know, man. That chrome orange goes pretty hard too. Man, it's tough to pick. Whoever their livery designer is, man, great job.
Rush Hour Karting. You know, that's how I got started into broadcast announcing. Started at a kart track, IRL. But it was dirt karts, not asphalt.
I didn't even know dirt karts were a thing.
All right, so Xavier is the winner for the Chesapeake fans. So here we go, folks.
I mean, with the driver profile picture like that, how can you not cheer for the guy, right?
I know, right? Bro, looking fresh out there. Oh, man.
All right, so we're going to have a green-white checker at Talladega, where we heard this before.
And
I think everybody knew coming in tonight this was how it was going to end, right? But another reminder, these guys are going to be running a all-star classic race day before Thanksgiving, so competition on the track is going to get them nice and hungry for that turkey feast the next day, unless you're in Canada, then you already had Thanksgiving. But either way, 200 laps at Richmond on November 26th. If you are interested in joining in the action that you've watched tonight, link is in the description. Join the Discord, get out on track with these guys, have a lot of fun. And as you heard earlier in the podcast, they are recruiting for season 2. It's going to be a 20 race schedule, sounds like a chase for the Cup-esque championship. Definitely lots of action coming from these guys next season. But just going through the field here, who you got? Who's your pick to win this thing?
Well, I mean, this is a crapshoot. Let's go with Kaus. I think Justin Kaus. I'm locking it in. Final answer. I think Justin Kaus might get it done. Now I just jinxed him. Jason Kaus, sorry. Sorry, cousin Jason, not Justin.
Wow, throwing it from downtown from P5. Oh man. You know what? I'm gonna go with tonight's pole sitter, Everett. I think he's gonna get a shove from somebody, and it's gonna be enough to overcome the Chesapeake stranglehold that they've got at the moment on the front of the field. But that's my pick. Lucky number 13. We're all about gambling tonight, right?
Yeah. All right, here we go, folks.
Covering odds and downtown desperation picks and lotto winners and everything. Yeah, Vegas wasn't the gambling track. It's tonight, boys and sugar. Yeah, forget
Greg
it.
Abbott's hearing this. We're not talking about it. We're talking about something else. All right, here we go. Pace car hits pit road, coming out of the tri-oval. Everybody get up off of your feet. I am, as we go through the restart zone. Joseph Smith, green flag back underway here at Talladega. They'll take a moment to get up through the gears.
Brad Harris is shoving Smith in front of him and said, "No, you're not getting with your teammate this time around."
We got a car on the apron,
wide back there.
Oh, Ronald Breland sitting right there. Oh my gosh, they're single file.
Where did Breland come from? How did I miss him?
Brad Harris
to the outside.
Trying to get the draft.
Oh, the Chesapeake boys are back together again. They tried to separate them. They found a way back to it. Travis Everett's giving a bump to the 23 there.
Oh my gosh. Brad Harris.
They're throwing the block. Brad Harris comes down, throwing the block on the bottom line, but that's going to give the opportunity to the 23 of Breland to take the lead here. And he's got the 13 of Everett, our pole sitter tonight, going with him.
Yeah, definitely as they hit the flag, hit the line, white flag waving in the air. Does Brad Harris, can he make it around? If the caution comes out, the race is over. Here we go, next
flag.
Look at
D'Angelo leading the third line. D'Angelo coming from way in the back, leading that third outside line. Just huge head of steam coming there.
Tommy D'Angelo up high. Brad Harris down below. Big shot from Joseph Smith. James Johnson gives D'Angelo a big shot. Where did these two come from? As now here they go into turn number 3 and 4 for the final time. Is it going to be Chesapeake working together, or will Brad Harris bring it home for Quack Pack Racing? Here they go out of turn number 4 into the tri-oval. Brad Harris continues to lead. Here comes Joseph Smith. Joseph Smith on the bottom.
Throwing all the blocks.
Around. They're still growing. Here we go at the line.
It's going to be Breland.
Ronald Breland wins at Talladega as the big one happens behind him. Wow.
Brad Smith throwing all the Keselowski blocks on the final lap there and doing everything he can to try and hold everybody behind him, trying to make that car 6 lanes wide there, and somehow, even going through the grass, comes home in P2 with that. Wow, what a finish.
What a finish indeed. Ronald Breland, you are the king at Talladega, and such a big comeback. You know, he was involved in that wreck early on, and then gets his car fixed. And like you said, where did he come from? Just like James Johnson and Tommy
I completely
D'Angelo.
overlooked him on that last restart.
Oh my gosh.
And unlike Bubba Wallace's actual Talladega win, did not have to do it in a rain-shortened fashion. Earns it the hard way, surviving all of those blocks, surviving all of the carnage on the last lap, and he's going to burn it down because he earned this one.
Let's see it.
I apologize, Brad Harris did not finish second. That was Joseph Smith. So the Chesapeake boys finished second and third. They did everything they could to try and get back to the front, but man, Brad Harris just he should have been the 6th car tonight. Wow, the blocks he was throwing there.
Yeah. When he went to the top to block Smith, and then came back down, I was like, oh my gosh.
If he could have gotten clear and pulled that off, I think that might have won the race. This was a quarter of a car too short there.
Yeah, right here. I mean, it looked like, I mean, Joseph Smith, he set it up perfectly. He just didn't have Riegelbrook close enough behind
I
him.
mean, coming
Right
out of
there.
turn 4, pulling his 5th right there, and he just
Wow.
drives through that. Wow, what a move from the 23.
That was unbelievable. Just right up the, oh my gosh. Joe Bonner, we might need to check on him. Good Lord, that car went off the ground. It hit so hard.
Can we
Debris
get
is
the
flying
AMR safety
everywhere.
crew out there?
Yeah, AMR safety crew. Oh my gosh.
Man,
Wow.
what a epic finish to tonight's race. That was fitting of a Talladega race. Well done, boys and girls. That was fantastic.
Let's go to our race results. It's the Canadian Ronald Braylon brings home the checker flag today, followed by Joseph Smith in second, Xavier Riegelbrock in third. Fourth is going to go to Travis Everett. Fifth is going to be Michael Peden. Sixth, Tommy D'Angelo. Seventh, Jason Kaus. Eighth, Brad Harris. Ninth, Jonathan Pereira. 10th, Brandon McLaughlin. And Brian, who finished from 11th on back?
Yeah, 11th we got Tyler LaBarge. 12th we'll find James Jones. 13th is Joshua Nunez. 14th Ryan Mason. 15th Scott Droust. 16 James LaBarge. 17 James Johnson. 18th Cody Adams. And then rounding out the rest of the field, 19th we find Scott Matthews. 20th Justin Cowles. 21st Joe Bonner. 22nd Chris Toppings. 23rd Chris Perry. And 24th Guy Oliveira.
All right, so we're going to get Brian's caught up with Team Chesapeake. I believe the Chesapeake drivers of Joseph Smith and Riegelbrook. And we'll do, well, Brian, which one do you want to interview first?
Yeah, we got Joseph Smith, tonight's second place finisher in the booth with us. Joseph, man, what a crazy finish to that race. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. I had fun. Yeah, we were really close, and then I got turned into, and then he came down on my teammate. But it's racing, I guess. So I had fun. I got a good finish. So.
Were you coordinating with Xavier there on those final restarts, trying to get linked up and see if you guys could run away with it?
Oh yeah, we were trying to just get to each other's bumper and just train it away, try and break away. It didn't work on the last time because I guess they guessed well. But we still got
looks
to
like
each other at the end, and we had it. We timed it perfect, but we just
Yeah, you had to fight off the big blocks that Brad Harris were throwing there at the end, but that's super speedway racing, and at the end of it, you guys walked away with a great second and third place. You got a 2-week break for the holidays. What are you expecting going into Iowa in 2 weeks' time?
I don't know. I don't have much experience at Iowa, so probably just try my best there. Just shoot for a top 5 maybe. So
Copy that. Well, before we let you go, anybody you want to shout out? You had some fans in the broadcast chat tonight.
Yeah, I want to shout out my team, Xavier, Josh. Shout out to my mom and my dad and my uncle who watch all these races. I want to say thanks to Jordan Fisher. He helps me setting up these cars and learning the tracks. We have his team or his Discord on our car, Fish Speed. So yeah, that's it.
Awesome, man. Well, congrats on the P-Due, and we'll let you get out of here.
All right, thank you. Have a good night.
I believe you caught up with his teammate, Xavier. Is that right, Brian?
Yeah, we got Chesapeake teammate Xavier Riegelbrock here in the booth with us. Xavier, man, crazy finish, but you guys still managed to pull off P2 and P3 there. So what was kind of y'all's game plan on those final restarts?
Just making sure he got in front of me. Unfortunately, on that last restart, he couldn't do that. And he got past, and then the whole last lap thing happened. But what can you do? It's Talladega. I mean, we were a bit frustrated afterwards. I mean, some words were exchanged in the chat, but you know, it's just Talladega racing. Like, what can you do? I'm not in full time in here, so it's like just want to come out here and win. And unfortunately, we weren't able to do that. But still respectable P2 and P3 finish, especially for me, because I was involved in a couple things. I was in the back most of the race, and then once I got up to Joseph, I was able to really get going. So that's just nice.
Yeah, definitely saw every position on the track. It seemed like up at the front, out to the back, and then at the end back up to the front again. But yeah, like you said, seemed like last lap was just super speedway racing with Brad Harris throwing his best impression of Brad Keselowski trying to block both of you guys there at the end. But what are you looking forward to for the rest of the season? You guys got a 2-week break, but then you got Iowa and Charlotte to finish it out.
We still have to look over and see what we're gonna run, because again, we're not full time in here. We just run part time, and it was a super speedway tonight, so we were like, why not? Let's run it. Possibly we'll be there for the Thanksgiving All-Star race. I mean, Richmond, one of my better tracks, so possible to show up to that.
Awesome. Well, hope to see you there. You guys definitely had some of the best looking cars tonight, that's for sure. And your fans in the broadcast chat were loving the effort that you guys were putting in. So anybody you want to shout out here before we let you go?
Oh, yeah. Well, of course, shout out to Joseph. Wouldn't be able to get up to the front like that without him. And also, I heard you guys were talking about our paint schemes and who was painting them. If you didn't know, actually, Joseph did all that. So shout out to him for painting us these cars. Shout out to, of course, all my fans, family, friends, whoever was in the chat. Shout out to all you guys for showing up, popping out. Love to see it every time. And shout out to Plush, as always.
Awesome, man. Well, congrats on the P3. We'll let you get out of here, and hope to see you in 2 weeks for the All-Star event at Richmond.
Yes, sir. See you then.
Thank you, Brian. So, as he climbs from his car, your Talladega winner, Mr. Ronald Breland. Is that right, Breland?
Yes. Yep.
All right. Ronald, how does it feel, man? Talk me through that last lap, because what a moment for you coming off of turn 4.
I don't know what to say, man. You know, coming to that restart, I had Brad in front of me, and I like working with Brad, and you know, we had a game plan of splitting the 55 and the 31 up. They're really good together. You know, nobody can deny that. They needed to be split up for somebody else to win, and you know, we got a really good restart. Worked out really well, and to be honest, you know, coming to the front stretch to the trial, I couldn't tell you what happened. I don't know. I just saw the seas parted, and I kept my gas pedal mashed and looked around and didn't see nobody with me, and got a little excited.
Talking about that, man. I mean, you definitely, when you go back and look at the replay, dude, you threaded the needle like perfect. And like you were saying, so building on this, you know, you had a good run at Bristol. Now you get the win at Talladega. What are you expecting after this 2-week break at Iowa?
I don't have a lot of experience at Iowa, so this was really, really needed, I think, for the point standings. So that'll be a big help, take a lot of weight off my shoulders. Hopefully we can close out the season on top after the break and be good to go. All
right, and will we see you on the 26th for the All-Star race?
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
All right. Well, you should be locked in. Consider yourself a winner.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to thank out there?
I would. I've picked my paint schemes all year based off of what Bubba has driven. that weekend. And tonight, obviously with the season being over, I let my wife pick the paint scheme. And so I'm just going to shout out the old lady and say she got this one done for us.
All right. Well, congratulations. Go enjoy that win, and we'll see you in Richmond.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
No problem. All right, Brian, before we go, what are your final thoughts about tonight?
Yeah, I mean, for as much as we had cautions impacting the race for the first half, man, that finish certainly made up for it. So, I mean, just hats off to these guys for running that hard but fair at the end there. You know, like the guy said in the interview, can certainly see where some tempers were flared with the blocking that was going on, but you got to expect that at super speedways. You know, just like you expect the bump and run at a short track, you expect the big blocks to be thrown at a super speedway. So, just man, I'm still buzzing from that finish, man. These guys just absolutely killed it. You know, it was great to see a big field with everybody joining in. So, hope to see that momentum carried forward after the holiday breaks. Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Well, with that being said, for my producer, Mr. Rob Campbell, and my co-announcer, Mr. Brian Zinn, I'm Emmett Crow saying make sure that you tune in on November 26th to check that All-Star Classic out at Richmond. And then we'll be headed to round number 9 at Iowa after a 2-week break. Enjoy your holiday, America.